In today's late season matchup, we have two teams who have victory on their minds. It's the Cowboys going up against the Eagles.
Okay, Larry, thank you. We are just off I-95 at the home of the Eagles, Lincoln Financial Field on the south side of Philadelphia. The scene in South Philly a few moments ago. Boy, the city of brotherly love is fired up. They're saying fly, Eagles, fly, as they get ready to match up with the Dallas Cowboys. Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he probably should have stayed in the end zone as he'll muster a return up to only the 14-yard line. So here are the Cowboys now backed up to get this drive started. Their second-year QB leading them. It's the NFL's Offensive Rookie of the Year for 2017, Dak Prescott.
It's a pretty bland game he had last time out. Ended up throwing one interception. Didn't have a touchdown to offset it. But the team found a way to win. He found a way to lean on other parts of the offense that carried them through.
Now Elliott. The numbers for Zeke from last week. 20 carries, 69 yards.
And they love what they've got in him. He's the number 4 rusher in the league right now, so you know that you have to account for him on defense, which means you can play complementary football as well. Throw the play action, get it out to the wide receivers, because they should have some open space because the defense will key on it.
Second down following the run. They go to Elliott again. Pretty nice move, but not a ton of space there. They stop him shy of the 25. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And some room to work. Power running by Zeke. And he is out of bounds, getting it across the 30-yard line. A gain of 11 and a first down. It was just 3rd down and short, but he bit off a little extra.
I would say way more than he could chew, but he chewed up all that yardage in a big way. And that, to me, that was a combination of offensive line, stacked defense, and they handled it. Okay, they got the leverage, they got the blocking angles, and opened up a nice crease. And once you get past that first wave, there's room to roam.
Yeah, that's just the 3rd play from scrimmage. They wanted to avoid that 3-and-out. They did. And the defense now for the Eagles.
I'm going to take a good, strong look at the veteran presence in the secondary that is Malcolm Jenkins. Starts at safety, plays cornerback when they go into their nickel sets. He can move inside and cover the slot receivers. He's also a guy who knows how to turn the football around when he picks it off. 3 interceptions in 2016, 2 of them returned for touchdowns.
They'll try to throw down. Prescott to the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to. It's a great job by this secondary. When I watch them, they remind me of elite defenders on a basketball court, right? They want to contest each and every pass.
Great contest on 3rd down to bring up 4th. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by their 6'5" quarterback out of North Dakota State. It's Carson Wentz.
There's a lot of good to watch in the game last week, wasn't there? I mean, he did throw 2 touchdown passes. That was impressive. And he's so close, isn't he? The 3 interceptions killed him and his team. That was costly. If he just cleans that up a little bit, there's a reason for optimism with this team and this passer.
And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the second and the third levels. You know, get to the linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. And the offense on the field for the first time today, and they were high-powered a week ago.
And they're beginning to believe that they've established a groove. They expect those type of performances each and every week. Running it, throwing it, they're precise.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. From the gun, it's Wentz. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Torrey Smith, the intended receiver, and it's third down. And now the defense for Dallas.
Let's break out the spotlight and put on Orlando Scandrick. He's been a safety. He's been a corner. People called him too small to play in the NFL, and he uses that as absolute fuel to stay on the field and beat out highly touted competitors.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Working from the gun, Wentz. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down.
Pass interference, defense.
Thought they were going to force a fourth down. Instead, PI gives them the first.
And that's frustrating because you think you've taken them really deep into the count, haven't you? Instead, you've got to start all over. That can really, really be demoralizing.
Now a first carry for LeGarrette Blount. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there. And there are the numbers a week ago for LeGarrette Blount. 13 carries, 90 yards.
One thing I do know, teams in the NFL don't treat this like a pitcher throwing a no-hitter. It's been mentioned all week long about going out and getting him the rushing title. He'll see the ball, and he'll see it often.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to him back.
So following the run, we'll see what they do here on third down. Shotgun now for Wentz. And he connects with Ertz. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. An Eagle first down, Wentz to Ertz. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on third down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. It makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Well, that certainly looked like the Torrey Smith we knew in Baltimore. A guy can just run past defenses, and what do they say? Take the top right off of them.
Game-changing speed, and the days in Baltimore good, days in San Fran not so great, but now hoping to get back to his former self.
I would say they have an extremely motivated wide receiver in Torrey Smith.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up second and goal.
And Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use The back end of the end zone, the sidelines, is extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
And this one's incomplete. Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver, and it's third down.
Now we got 3rd and goal coming up, and couldn't you imagine being in that huddle, partner? You know they're looking at each other saying, we can't come away with just 3 points after this drive.
Yeah, they've covered a lot of ground. They want more than that 3. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. Nelson Aguilar with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Eagles have taken the early lead. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. He's got it, and the Eagles lead at 7-zip. Elliott now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. Ooh, the juke. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Cowboy offense heading out. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups.
To throw is Prescott. Fletcher Cox in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year. So a first-quarter sack, and remember, keep in mind, he had 2 sacks in last week's game.
And it's always intriguing to me to watch these great pass rushers because some of them, they need their teammates to scheme for them. Maybe occupy people, make it a one-on-one matchup. Other guys, they just defeat everything in front of them. To get 2 sacks in a game, it's a little bit of both for you.
And they'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. No gain at all on the play there, and that brings up 4th.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
Throwing on first is Wentz. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Now it's Ajayi. And room to run as he's up past the 35-yard line. Second down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
And they pick up the first down there with a gain of 4.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Wentz now on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Wentz going to give this one to Blunt. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. Another fine carry from the NFL's rushing leader, and quarterbacks typically dominating the MVP balloting, but I think you got to give this guy serious consideration, don't you?
I agree totally. I mean, he's leading the league in rushing, and let's face it, partner, the running back renaissance in the NFL, it's real, and it's really helping teams along the way. He's a prime example. Got to give him strong consideration for MVP talk.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time, and a first down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
And his throw here's incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Now flags come in here. Looked like one of the Eagles might have moved.
False start, offense.
So that'll back him up 5. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Wentz to throw on second down. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And they're going to face a third down.
All right, I'm doing my rudimentary math here. That's his third catch here in the first quarter. I don't know if it's just game plan or he's just finding his way open.
And maybe a little of both. Wentz going to throw. And it's caught by Saleh. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
They had 2 tight ends in the formation on that one. It looked to me like he had his pick of receivers downfield.
I think he was just planning on going over the middle. That's what he did.
Picked up first down, too.
This is Ajayi. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. And when you're running the football, one thing you don't want to see is a big boy coming up there to swallow you whole in those D tackles and nose tackles.
No, you're actually counting on your big boys to protect you from them. But on that play, the defensive tackle had the leverage, and he won the...
And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Alshon Jeffrey, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Eagles had 6 to their lead. And in the red zone, I guess this is why you have a guy like that on your roster.
Without a doubt, and if you have him, you use it because he's a guy who's going to win just about every time. I don't care what the coverage is.
Elliott now to add the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. Elliott now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll start in a hole here as he's brought down at the 11-yard line.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game? Maybe establish the run. I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And they're going to have a third down.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
Prescott from the gun on third. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
This defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Fielded just inside the 20. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Wentz now on first down. Smith catches left side. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
So under the category of, while it can't be us because we're not that good, but could you imagine if this was you? LeGarrette Blount, his first 1,000-yard season since, what, 2010, his rookie year, and 18 touchdowns in the regular season, and no longer with New England.
He is over 30 now. He turned 30 in December. I don't know if that played a factor, but, yeah, such a productive year, and then he's gone.
Well, that just tells you this. Now he's going to be playing with a chip on his shoulder trying to prove something.
On second down, here's Wentz. Ertz has it left side. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. An Eagle first down there, Wentz to Ertz, and the names that end in TZ.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from me a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
And room there to work it inside the 25. See if they stay on the ground for second down. Now Wentz. Jeffrey wheels it in over the middle. And down inside the 15 he goes. An Eagle first down. Wentz hooking up with Jeffrey. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, that was dangerous. Throw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on second down.
The way he's been slinging in the first half, you expect everything he throws to go for a touchdown, but I guess he's got to wait to try and pick up that third, isn't he?
Yeah, I thought he had him for a second, but you're right, not to be. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a third down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Throwing is Wentz, and he's unable to haul it in, so it falls incomplete over the middle third of the field, and that brings up 4th. Maybe just a lack of concentration there as he couldn't haul it in.
And when you're going across the middle like that, you know, he's running that drag route, you are conscious of all the bodies and the traffic in there, but let's face it, if you're going there, you might as well come down with the football and absorb whatever else happens after that.
So the drive takes him inside the 10, but it ends with just 3.
And a nice job defensively to rise up and make sure they didn't get in.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now working their way back onto the field, the Eagles defense. And we're going to get a peek at some of the hits that have helped them get this first half lead.
And you know how the best hits happen? By being really good on that side of the ball in terms of fundamentals, being in the right spot, diagnosing plays well, and being there at the point of attack. They are really making it happen.
They go play action here on first down. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Give him 3 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down. On 2nd down, Elliott. And spins away. Oh, and now he bowls him over. Yeah, they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. That burst good for 20 and a 1st down. A tough run by Ezekiel Elliott, the 4th overall pick in the 2016 draft.
If you watch tape of him in college, you saw plenty of those runs, because I know the highlights showed him in the open field breaking away from people, but that's how he wore down defenses, those exact type of runs.
Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
And an alley to run. And he's going to take this one down inside the 45. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Out of bounds and close. The question, was it a touchback? No. They'll say it crossed out at the 2-yard line. A busy final day for you coming up in the NFL. Final day of the year as well. 11 other games going on as we speak. And then coming up later this afternoon, 2 games each from the AFC West and NFC West, all kicking off at the same time. Raiders, Chargers, Chiefs, Broncos, Cardinals, Seahawks, Niners, Rams.
Loving it.
Loving it. That's it for the 2017 regular season. It'll be Happy New Year time. And Charles, you going to dust off Auld Lang Syne for us tonight?
Meet me at midnight, baby. You'll find out.
Hard pass. They needed some breathing room. He gave it to them. 11 yards and a 1st down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Eluding the pressure right. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Smith. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Now that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
They run with Ajayi, and he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 11, he goes down. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Doesn't take any great analysis on my part. It's been pretty obvious. Last couple of plays, these guys been going in the wrong direction.
Offensive line overwhelmed on those plays. Now, I think it's safe to say going to the air here on 3rd. And this one is incomplete.
But one thing's for sure, when you get a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Pulled in at the 24. Ezekiel Elliott gets ready to go again here on offense as he shuffles onto the field. He's doing his thing. He's got some good yardage, but his team right now in the 2nd quarter, 0 points.
Just not a complete formula. Half of it's there, being able to run the ball and set the tone. What if they may have to go to some play action, throw off the run game, and try and get the ball in the end zone?
I was just going to ask you that same thing. Maybe you use that run now to set up the pass, right?
I would think so, because the run has been very effective for them.
10th carry now for Elliott. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory. First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down, keep the sticks moving.
Flushed out right. Got some room at the 30, and he'll go out of bounds across the 35-yard line. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Donald Butler. Coming hard from that linebacker spot, he drops him for a loss of 11.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
In a blink of an eye, that happened fast and a big sack. Over the middle to Smith. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. That one goes for 36 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Now we'll get our first update of the afternoon for the Meadowlands. And the Redskins there out to an early lead. Kirk Cousins with 2 first-half touchdown passes. On 1st down, Wentz. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Johnson. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll check in with Larry Ridley in Orlando with highlights and analysis of this first half of play.
And I'm going to check in with a heater.
I'm going to be right there with you, partner. And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Now Now Wentz throwing on second down. This will be caught at about the 6. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to...
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by the linebacker, Donald Butler. And they'll have the football, but deep in their own territory as he's brought down at the 5. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well. But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for Terrence Williams that time. 3rd down here.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. If you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
And he'll be taken down for a loss back at the 3. Now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And the punt goes out of bounds. Where will they put it? They'll put it just inside the 45-yard line.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
They knew they were going to have great field position. Went all out, got a little too aggressive.
And you have to understand your angles. They're cut down. When they're that backed up, you've got to be careful going after him.
Again, it's Elliott. And an alley to run. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. Now, before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. 2nd down, Prescott. And this one complete to Witten over the middle. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Prescott on 1st down. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll be a 2nd down. Prescott now on 2nd down. And he's just going to get rid of this thing to no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
Prescott from the gun. And he couldn't hang on. Almost an interception there defensively. Instead, it brings up 4th. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. They'll begin the drive with a Ajayi. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. So nothing there, but maybe you blame that on the blocking.
Yeah, at some point, you've got to win at the point of attack. And on that play, that was all the defense. They made it happen.
So we've reached halftime here on New Year's Eve, as we send you down to Orlando, where we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Larry.
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to our EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. The Eagles are happy to be in front right now and just want to play 2 more solid quarters. The Cowboys didn't play their best, and they'll need to be at their best now to come back. So here we go. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Eagles come out on 3rd and 4. Aguilar has got nobody around him on the catch, and he capped off the long drive with the TD. Eagles with the ball late in the first as they take a 7-0 lead. Wentz hooking up here with Alshon Jeffrey, and it ends up working for a touchdown. That puts them on top by 14. Now 1st and 10, Butler's going to push his way to the QB here. This ends up as a huge loss in yardage. Continuing on the drive, here the defense will come up with the pick. Butler's is happy to come away with the pick, ending the drive. That'll do it from our EA Sports Studios. Let's send it back up to Brandon and Charles in Philly.
This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as he'll go on offense first here in the 3rd quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Now this will go for 5 up to the 33.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will have a first down as they get into the ground at the 37. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives them a new set of downs.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, 3rd quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more? Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it? It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw. And they'll go Wentz to Blunt here. And I think we've got a hold here. It's a 5-yard pickup for the moment. Let's see what our referee says.
Holding offense.
That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Here's Ajayi. He takes it down to the 42, a 5-yard run.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Here's Wentz to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Right, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
And Jeffrey's got it. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
Now a carry for Blunt, and he's going to get this one down inside the 15. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. Working from the gun, Wentz. This is taken in by Jeffrey. He's got it. Touchdown, Eagles. Alshon Jeffrey, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Eagles add on to their lead. In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one. And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Elliott now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Cowboy offense heading out. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Power running by Zeke. Space to maneuver at the 40. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And he'll get this across midfield to the 48. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed, as that's going to move the chains.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Now it's the Florida Atlantic alum. This is Alfred Morris. He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
And that's another stop for the defense, something we've seen all game long. They have been on fire today. No matter what's called by the offense, they've had an answer for it.
Prescott to throw it. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Timmy Jernigan. In there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big. But sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz. And even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there.
Alshon Jeffrey working his way back out there now to help lead this offense. Previous series, definitely a focal point. 3 catches, the touchdown grab. As a DB, you're a former DB, is there a number of catches on a drive you're like, oh, he got the best of us?
I'm not sure there's a number, but there's a great feel. And what he did on the last drive, yeah.
Especially with a touchdown.
Yes.
You're never happy.
You're exactly right. The way he capped it off, so you feel that at the sideline, and now you're looking at your buddies and saying, okay, what are we going to do to take things away from him? Because I'm not sure the other guys can make those sort of plays. So let's make sure that we don't let him get going again.
And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, 3rd down.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
Well, I'd have to say in that situation, they're lined up for a running play. It's only 3rd and 2. Some element of the pass, but that was really well blocked.
Probably call those gravy plays, right, if you're the offensive coordinator?
No doubt about it. All you're trying to do is get the 2 yards necessary for a 1st down. Then you look up, you got a whole lot more than that.
Yeah, they did. They got a lot more than that, indeed. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. 2nd down following the run. From the gun, it's Wentz. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Smith. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the 1st down. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there. Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the 1st.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. 12 more yards there and another 1st down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
They'll run it here with Blunt. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Nelson Aguilar. His 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Eagles continue to roll.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. I mean, he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone, this guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes. Carving him up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. And the lead will grow by 1 more. Now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
Man, these guys may not win this ball game, but you certainly can't fault the effort of this man here today. He's been a real thorn in their sides all afternoon. And that last carry puts him over the 100-yard mark.
And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter of very one-sided affair. The penalty really backs up the offense here on first down. Now 20 yards to go. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Ezekiel Elliott, and it's second down. Another wayward pass. Things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Now Prescott. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
We always talk about receivers. If the ball hits your hand, you're supposed to haul it in, but it is hard to adjust to a pass thrown a little bit behind you.
That one was all the momentum going forward. Couldn't contort his body back to grab it. On third down, Elliott. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That'll make it fourth down after a loss of 1.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Desperation time. Prescott on fourth. Going deep here for Bryant. And that's caught inside the 30.
Offense.
So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Eagles are going to take over in great field position. Well, apparently they weren't interested in playing the field position game. They opt to keep their offense out there. A big mistake in hindsight.
Yeah, that one backfired. In hindsight's always 20/20, but let's call it what it was. We would have first guessed that one and said, don't do it here. Bad situation. I think they need to be closer to midfield before I would start to think it was a good idea.
Yeah.
And once you start taking risks like that, you're going to have to keep taking them throughout the game, especially when they don't work.
Yeah, at this stage of the second half, interesting. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason.
And he will not be able to get away as Foles is taken down. 2nd down now after the sack. The first throw for the backup Foles. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Eagles are pouring it on. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Elliott on for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
Cole Beasley, the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
And some space here. Finding some room at midfield. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. Fresh set of downs here. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. And he's got room. There he goes inside the 30. A very solid gain of 27. And now a 1st down following that long gain. On the counter, Elliott. And he'll take this down for about 4 yards, down to the 15. Second down to the offense in search of 6 yards. They'll try to throw now. Prescott. Right side complete to Butler. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up first and goal. And here we go on first and goal. Shift together here from the D-line. They'll try to run it with Morris. And this is not going to do it as he's stopped at the 2-yard line. No gain there, and it's going to set up second and goal.
What a game this defense has played. They're pitching a shutout, so it'd be fun to watch down the stretch to see if their defensive coordinator continues to be as aggressive as he's been all game long.
Second and goal from the 2-yard line. Here's Morris. And I think they stopped him again. They did at the 1-yard line. Call it no gain that time, and now it's third and goal.
I don't know about you, Brandon, but I often think to myself, in these situations, I want a back who can create his own space, who can break tackles, and in a sense, become his own blocker. We don't have that guy in the game right now.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. This offense so far on third down, not getting the job done at all. A very poor 1 for 10. This is third and goal. And here is motion again, and that's going to be 2 in a row.
False start, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. The Cowboys on third down, not getting the job done at all. A very poor 1 for 10. They're looking at a third and goal here. And now movement again, and they'll march even further backward.
False start, offense.
Mark that one against one of the top left tackles in the league, Tyron Smith. The Cowboys on third down, not getting the job done at all. A very poor 1 for 10. This is 3rd and 17. Here's Elliott. And certainly some style points there on the spin. Not a whole lot thereafter, but still a pretty good gain. It'll be a gain of 7, but still well short here with 4th and goal looming.
Another stop on third down, and this defense still hasn't allowed a touchdown to this point.
And Bailey able to knock it through. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. And, Charles, in a very one-sided affair, I think we've reached the point in the broadcast where you and I, we may have some filling to do, right?
Yeah, I think you're right about that because we got to try and keep people around. We don't want them to change the channel. Stay with us in this game. Is that Ben Ramsar? Are you hearing from Ben on the headset here? Tell us, stretch this thing out a little bit.
Get some talking points. Dig them all out.
That's what you get. A big-time producer. Keep them here.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get up to the 43-yard. Line.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy.
Ojai hit. He lost the football.
Wow. That ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. Play clock winding down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
Brandon, this can be so demoralizing for a defense. They've had 2 opportunities to get off the field. They haven't gotten it done. So now your coordinator is going to call every blitz that he has, any type of exotic, something that they haven't seen before. And he's also telling the defensive lineman, don't worry about holding people up. Just get in gaps and try and make a big play.
And not only not getting off the field on 2 opportunities, clock continuing to run.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15, just shy of the 10. And they convert on 3rd with a gain of 22. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. David Irving. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Now Foles. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Burton. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. Around the NFL, 4th quarter right now in Atlanta. And the Falcons have wound up winning that football game. Matt Ryan, a touchdown pass to help lead the way. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these 2 teams meet. But until then, this game's over. But Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Eagles, it's an 11th win of the year as they'll finish the regular season at 11-5. And now they'll await the final seeding for the playoffs ahead. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, they'll limp to the finish line with a final record of 5-11. And this is a team that has a few good pieces in place, but could stand to get deeper and younger all around. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. The Eagles are winners here as we say so long from Philadelphia.